There we go. Yeah, trying to position my camera, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Here we go. Okay, today I'm doing this video for telling my story on what I've gone through, somewhat of it. This is for the Pink Lady One Love channel by Much Love from Kentucky. What I've gone through, actually, it's not a common cancer. It's common, but it's not common. You don't hear too much about it. There's no, I don't even think we have a ribbon. But I have got, I don't know if it was hereditary or environmental. I got Hodgkins lymphoma. Basically, it was just like a Caucasian males get this, or but in my case, yeah, I didn't notice anything until I had got this huge lump on my neck. Now, I thought it was just a regular little knot. I thought, okay, it's nothing. Maybe it's a cyst. It's nothing. No big deal. I kept on, didn't even go check to see what it was. I just, worked. I lost about 150 pounds, maybe more. I lost that. I got down to like a super small. All this was skin and bones. I have a picture I'll have at the end of this video of what I look like, or somewhere during this video. Anyway, I was lost everything. I thought it was because I was working and just working, and I was stressed or whatever, and I lost weight. Never wanted. I guess I was scared to find out, but I wasn't sure or whatever. So finally, the lump on my neck got bigger and kept getting bigger and bigger, to the point where I could not hardly drink. I couldn't stand up because I had pain in my lower back. I couldn't stand for long periods of time. I would get night sweats. I would get fevers and chills. I thought maybe it was coming down with the flu or something. I didn't know what it was. And then my husband just said, you know what, we're going to the hospital. So he came and got me from work. We went to the hospital. Well, actually, we went to my doctor's office. They told me to go straight over to West Penn, which is a hospital in Pittsburgh, get tests, some labs. He called me back maybe within that day. My father-in-law gave us money to go eat. He said, go take your wife out, get something to eat. And, we went out to eat, came back, and then that's when I got the news that I had cancer. And I lost it. My husband grabbed the phone, and we both lost it. We just didn't know. It was just crazy. I went over to my mother-in-law's house, and the doctor said, don't worry, I'll get everything taken care of at the hospital. So my father-in-law said, and my dad was like, don't worry, everything will just be fine. My mother-in-law did a lot of research on it. They first diagnosed me with lymphoma. Now, lymphoma is worse than Hodgkins. I had 3B, Hodgkins disease 3B, which it's right there at the crossroads. If it was higher, it would have been in my organs, and then there was nothing they could have done. So I got to the hospital. I was so little. I was in that extra small. I had to get 2 units of blood because I was anemic. So they had to make sure they didn't know. At first, they didn't know what it was. So they had to test me for everything. They tested me for HIV. They tested me for AIDS. They tested me for everything. Everything came back good. Everything came back negative. I had none of that, which I didn't have. But they have to do that. So they test me for everything under the sun. Everything came back good except for the lymphoma, the Hodgkins. So what happened was they cut, as you can see, the scar right here. They cut it. They did a biopsy, and they got tumor from that lump that was on my neck. That was a tumor. And my surgeon came back and said, they did that biopsy. But before that, they told my husband, I'm just now knowing things that happened. Because, mind you, when I went into the hospital, I was not together. And the fact that I was in and out, I was like almost comatose. So there was a lot of things I didn't hear, or a lot of things they didn't want me to know. And they told my husband, they told him I had 2 weeks, if not. They didn't know when, but it didn't look good. So they told him to get his affairs together. Of course, my husband passed out in the middle of the floor in the outside. And they had to rush, give water or whatever. So he went, no, this was at 3 in the morning. No visitors was allowed. But I wanted him to, he stayed with me. No visitors after a certain time. So there was nobody there. So my husband went in the waiting room, and he kept saying, why her, why not me, take me. And, and he was just distraught. So he went in, sat there, and someone sat next to him and said, she'll be just fine. Actually, he was saying these things in his head. He wasn't saying them out loud. So the guy came over, older Caucasian male. He said he had a white beard, and his eyes was like gray and just real clear, like you could see right through them. And he said that she's not going anywhere. She's not going to leave you and your son. She'll be just fine. There's no need for that. Because my husband was, I guess he was just mad at God because of what was going on. And he was just, I guess, he was distraught himself, He was just mad at the, just mad. And so he went into the restroom and he came back out and the guy was gone. So now he ran out to the nurse's station. He said, where's that guy? And she's like, what guy? And he said, there was a guy in there talking to me. And she said, what guy? There's nobody. And she kept saying, are you okay? She said, because the doors was locked down. There's nobody can get in. And she got kind of like spooked. So guardian angel, I'm taking it was a guardian angel because right after that, doctors came back and said, oh, she'll be fine. She has Hodgkins. The next day. He said, oh, she'll be good. She has Hodgkins. She'll be just fine. So they gave me my chemo. They had defibrillators outside of my door because they were scared that I would go into cardiac arrest when they were giving me my chemo, my first chemo. So I had the most extensive chemo they had. So what happened was they were standing outdoor and they said, if you feel anything tingling and burning, let us know. And they was giving me, I felt tingly, but a little bit, but it wasn't bad, like, So my body kind of took it. It was okay. I got all that done. And I went, okay, that was that. My body took it well. So they kept giving me my chemo. And then after that, then the results, which never came back, didn't come back yet. My surgeon came in, said she has Hodgkins, and after that, but he already had diagnosed it before the results even came back. He knew what it was, so that was a relief that it was able to be curable, or treated. So what happened is they froze. I had 24 tumors all throughout my body. They all dissolved, most of them, except for the larger one. I think there was 2 here. They started to work. So I was getting chemo every other Wednesday, and it started to work, and then I went back to work, mind you, but I had light days when I had my chemo. I was working for Clinic Cosmetics. After that, I went back to work. And then I was done with, I had 8 cycles I had to do. So I was done with the chemo. Then they wanted to put me back in the hospital for a transplant. So that following December, because that happened in May. And then till August I was done with my chemo. Then I had to get more. So I had to go back and get my stem cells. So they had to get me prepared for that. So I had to stay in the hospital. They had to, I had to get a catheter to protect my liver, and which I believe was my lung. One of my lungs is not too good. I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best because of a regimen called blyamycin. I had I think my cocktail from the chemo, one of them, blyamycin, was, I had ABVD, which is the different drugs they gave me. But blyamycin affected your liver or your lungs. So I had to quit taking one of them. So on top of that, I had to go through that. Then I had to go get my stem cells collected 3 hours on this machine. Then I had to go back maybe in another 15 to 20 days to get my stem cells. Then I was sick for a whole so many weeks. I had to go back and forth to outpatient every day. I couldn't miss a day. Don't matter. I had to get platelets. Then I had to go back. And then after that, my levels was going up, so I didn't have to go back anymore. Then I was good, in remission, good. Went back to work. I couldn't do it no more because of all the chemo affected my legs. I got neuropathy and a mild case of asthma. Then I had to quit work, so I had to go get disability, Social Security. Working disability, I had to get SSD. My time is probably coming up, so I'm going to stop this, and I'll be right back.